Your dog has looked at you 100 times today, and whatever they're seeing, it is not what you're picturing. Not a person, not an owner, definitely not someone who just controls the food supply. What's actually happening when they look at you, in their eyes and in their brain, is stranger than most people who love dogs ever find out. Stay through number 1, because that entry reframes everything that comes before it. Number 3 is going to change how you look at your dog's face entirely. Welcome to Dog Bond. New here? Subscribe right now, because this channel covers the actual behavioral science behind what your dog thinks and feels, pulled from peer-reviewed research, not internet rumors dressed up as dog facts. Number 7, your dog doesn't see the colors you think they do. There's been a rumor floating around since the 1940s that dogs see in black and white. Wrong. The actual truth is nearly as wild. Dogs have 2 types of color receptors. Humans have 3. So your dog's world runs mostly on blues, yellows, and shades of gray. Red, which you're probably wearing somewhere right now, reads to them as a muddy brownish gray. That green lawn they love? Yellowish. The purple toy? Blue. The red ball you throw? Almost invisible against the grass. The trade-off favors them in other ways. Dogs carry more rods than we do, and rods are the cells that handle motion and dim light. They also carry a reflective membrane behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum, which bounces light back through the eye and sharpens their low-light vision to roughly 6 times beyond what humans can manage. That's also why their eyes catch light in flash photos. When they look at you, they're not absorbing your color palette. They're reading contrast, movement, and shape. The color of you barely registers. The shape of you? Different story. Number 6. Even that shape is a little blurry. When your dog locks eyes with you from across the room and you feel like they're staring into you, they're not seeing the sharp details you'd assume. Dog vision runs around 20/75. Translation: what you see clearly from 75 feet away requires your dog to stand 20 feet from that same thing to match your clarity. From across your living room, your face is soft. Edges blur. They make up for it. Their field of view stretches to around 240 degrees compared to our 180. They catch motion at distances a human eye would miss entirely. At dusk, when you're squinting into the yard, they're reading it like it's mid-afternoon. But here's what most owners never sit with. When your dog stares at you, they're not studying your features the way you study someone else's face. They're tracking your posture, the shift in your shoulders, the way you're holding your weight. They see a softer, wider, lower resolution version of you, and they watch it constantly for movement. So how do they know it's you through a closed door, in the dark, from a parking lot away? The answer isn't in their eyes at all. Number 5. To your dog, your face is not your face. Your smell is. Dogs carry up to 300 million scent receptors. You carry around 5 to 6 million. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to processing odor is about 40 times larger than the same region in yours. They can detect 1 drop of a substance dissolved across 20 Olympic swimming pools. That is a measured detection limit, not a figure of speech. A team at Emory University tested this directly in a brain scanner. They presented trained dogs with 5 scent samples on gauze pads, their own smell, 2 strangers, 1 familiar dog from the same home, and 1 familiar human who was not in the room. 1 sample triggered the caudate, the brain's reward center. Not the familiar dog, not the handler standing right there, the cloth that smelled like someone the dog loved. Your dog's brain doesn't store you as a face. It stores you as a signature. When you walk through the door, they don't clock your silhouette first. Their reward center fires on the smell, and it fires before they've even focused their eyes on you. Stay with me, because number 3 explains why dogs evolved to look at you specifically, and it's going to stay with you. Number 4, they are reading your face. Actively. Every time. Dogs have a region in their brain that turns on specifically when they look at a human face. Brain scans taken while dogs lay completely still inside scanning equipment showed that region activating for faces in a way it simply did not for objects. Specific, consistent response. And here's what most owners never hear about it. When a dog studies a human face, they tend to look at the right side first, which is tied to your brain's more emotionally active hemisphere. That's the same scanning pattern adult humans use when reading each other. Dogs don't do this with other dogs, with other animals, or with objects. Only with human faces. It goes past sight, too. In one study, researchers collected sweat from people watching frightening footage and from people watching something pleasant. Dogs who smelled the fear samples had faster heart rates and moved toward their owners. Dogs who smelled the happy samples moved freely and connected more easily with strangers. They were reading an emotion they never directly witnessed. Every time your dog watches your face, they're pulling information from your expression, your scent, and the way your body is positioned. They know things about your mood before you choose to show it. If this is landing differently than you expected, hit subscribe, because number 2 breaks the biggest myth most dog owners still carry. Number 3, you made them look at you this way. Dogs have a small muscle above their eyes that wolves don't have. It does one thing: lifts the inner eyebrow, widening the eye, making the face look more open, more infant-like, more like the expression a human makes when they're sad. You've been calling it puppy dog eyes your whole life, and you were right to notice it. When scientists compared the facial muscles of domestic dogs and gray wolves side by side, the muscle was fully formed and consistently present in dogs. In wolves, it barely existed. Thin scatter of tissue, almost nothing there. That muscle grew during domestication. Over thousands of years alongside humans, dogs developed a facial feature that only really matters when a person is watching. Research found dogs use that eyebrow raise far more often when a human is looking at them, and almost not at all when no one's paying attention. At animal shelters, dogs who make that expression more often get adopted faster. Their faces physically changed so that you would feel something when you looked at them. That's not sentiment, that's biology. The expression you call puppy dog eyes is one of the only facial movements in the animal kingdom that developed specifically to affect a different species. They're looking at you with the face your ancestors helped shape. Number 2, your dog doesn't see an owner. They see a parent. Drop the word alpha. Drop pack leader. None of that framing comes from behavioral science, and the actual data points somewhere much more personal. In April of 2015, the journal Science published a study on what happens when dogs and their owners hold eye contact. Both the human and the dog got a spike in oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That's the same chemical that surges between a mother and her newborn. The research team then ran the same test with wolves raised by humans their entire lives. Nothing happened. No loop. That response belonged to dogs alone. After that, scientists adapted the classic infant-parent attachment test, the one designed to measure how babies bond to caregivers, and ran it on dogs. Dogs passed. They treated their owners as a secure base, showed distress when separated, and settled when reunited. A separate experiment put dogs in a brain scanner and gave them a choice: food reward or verbal praise from their owner. 13 out of 15 dogs responded to the praise as strongly as to the food, or stronger. When those same dogs ran a real-world maze, most of them chose their person over the treat. You are not their food source. That is not what you are to them. You are who they chose in the maze. Number 1, your dog doesn't see a separate being when they look at you. They see part of themselves. Most people aren't ready for this. A study published in Scientific Reports measured long-term cortisol, the stress hormone, stored in the hair of dogs and their owners over the course of months. The levels matched. When owners carried more stress, their dogs' bodies reflected it over time. The effect moved from owner to dog, not the other way around. Your dog was absorbing your emotional state and holding it in their own biology. More recently, a team in Finland measured heart rate variability in dogs and their owners during ordinary everyday interaction. Heart rate variability is the slight natural variation in rhythm between heartbeats, and it's a marker of emotional state. Their rhythms synchronized. Owner relaxed, dog relaxed. Owner activated, so was the dog. When those same dogs were paired with strangers, the sync disappeared entirely. It only worked with their person. And that's when the famous stories stop sounding like sentiment and start looking like data. An Akita in Japan returned to the same Tokyo train station every single day for nearly 10 years after his owner died. He kept coming back until his own death in 1935. A collie mix went missing in Indiana in the winter of 1923 and showed up at his Oregon family's front door 6 months later. having covered roughly 2,800 miles on foot. A shepherd mix in Argentina tracked his owner's grave in 2006 in a cemetery he had never visited before. He stayed for more than 11 years. He died beside that grave. Not myths. Documented cases, all three. Because to your dog, you are not someone separate they happen to love. Your heartbeat is folded into theirs. Your scent is what their reward center celebrates. The face you show them is the one face in the animal kingdom. Their species grew a new muscle specifically to look at. Whatever stress you carry, it lives in their fur. When your dog looks at you, they don't see a human. They see home. If this video changed how you see the animal next to you right now, send it to the person who loves their dog the same way you love yours. They need to know what that bond actually looks like from the inside. Subscribe to Dog Bond so you're here for the next one. Drop a comment and tell me which number hit you hardest. Was it the muscle their species grew just to move you? Was it the oxytocin loop that fires for dogs but not for wolves? Was it the 3 dogs who stayed? Tell me in the comments which one made you look at your dog differently tonight. If you want to know why your dog follows you from room to room and cannot stand to let you out of their sight, that is the next video.